Welcome back. How's everyone doing? You all for being here. I'm really grateful for you guys tuning in for another live episode. And so I got a different camera angle today. And so I'm really excited to talk to you guys. So before we get started, please like the video. If you are new here, please subscribe and please share the video. So today we're going to talk about Delta 8 THC. And I'm really grateful because I've been using the product for 6 months now. And tonight we have Daniel Simmonds from Georgetown Hemp. We're going to talk about Delta 8 and custom formulations. But for me, I'm really excited to just talk about it, share my experience, and hopefully I'll be able to educate you, not only the businesses, but also consumers. So what exactly is Delta 8 THC? So while Delta 9 is the most commonly known for its psychoactive effects, Delta 8 is a little bit different. The two of them share many similar properties such as stimulating appetite, reducing nausea, and soothing pain. But Delta 8 tends to exhibit a lower psychotropic potency than Delta 9. So that means in layman terms, Delta 8 doesn't get you as high as Delta 9, and I can say that from experience. And so the benefit is different from person to person, just like CBD or any other cannabinoid. And so you have to just be mindful of when you're taking any new compound from the plant, that you know what you're taking it for, and you have to understand that, hey, this may affect me differently than it would affect anyone else. Like I was mentioned, just like with liquor, somebody may drink 1 bottle of beer and nothing happened to them. Somebody else get drunk because they're new. So I always use that same concept here. And so some of the history when it comes to Delta 8. So chemists began experimenting with Delta 8 for years. And in 1975, researchers found it could be effective for tumors in rats, right? And then in 1995, scientists in Israel gave Delta 8 to pediatric cancer patients suffering from nausea associated with chemotherapy, and found they stopped vomiting with a high success rate over 400 treatments. And so Delta 8 is wonderful. It's something that we think it's going to be even better than Delta 9 for people going through many issues, pain, vomiting. If you're going through this high amount of chemo, Delta 8 is where everything the focus is going to be in the future. And so DEA stands, right? We got to talk about the DEA. So Delta 8 THC is derived from marijuana, which is federally illegal because marijuana is still banned controlled substance now. Hemp-derived Delta 8, on the other hand, is technically legal if it's naturally extracted. But the problem we have is that hemp only contains trace amount of the compound. So most of the Delta 8 that you see on the market is synthetically created by converting CBD into Delta 8. Now, according to the DEA, this puts Delta 8 in the illicit category, and in its interim final rule published on August 21st, 2020, DEA said that all synthetically derived tetrahydrocannabinoids remain a Schedule 1 substance, and that includes Delta 8. We know, behind the scenes in the industry, everyone who's selling Delta 8 has an understanding that this may not be on the market forever, so they're pushing the product left and right so that way they can either help people when it comes to getting proper medication, or in turn make some money. And so the question is it safe to use? And for me, it's yes and no, right? So just like CBD or any other cannabinoid, in the industry, in the hemp industry, there are people who are untrained, right? So we see a lot of people making Delta 8 products such as gummies and edibles, but a lot of them are not really trained. They don't know how to calculate the dosage, right? So you are basically guessing on what you're getting. You also have untrained business owners who are just jumping into business to sell Delta 8 products along with other compounds, but they don't know how to sell, they've never done it before, and they're clueless. And this is what I see in the industry. So as a standpoint from consumer, you have to take pause and be very careful when it comes to who you're buying products from. And this is just not regular Delta 8, but also regular hemp products, including CBD. So you want to understand who the business owner is that you're buying from. For me, in the industry, I like to see who the owners are. I like talking to them, engaging with them. So that way, when I talk to you, the consumers, about the brand, I can feel confident enough to know, okay, well, at least I did some research. And yes, in my research, I'm able to help you in return. And then as a business owner, like, you have to do things the right way, take some classes, like I teach. So take out classes, get trained properly so you understand like everything from A to Z, like compliance, marketing, like how the product is made. You have to understand the plant. And then for me, there's no clear transparency in the market, right? Being who I am in the industry, I get a lot of companies who just start off like Delta 8 THC, Delta 8 reviews, Delta 8 CBD.com. Hey Bevon, can you please review the product? I go to the website, I don't see nothing when it comes to who the owner is. It's just a generic website with products, right? And so for me being in the industry, I have to take pause because I don't know if that product is really legit. I don't know where they're getting the source from. And I can speak on that because being in this, like behind the scenes in the CBD industry, and see products like laying out, dogs walking by, kids. I always mention that people are making products in the kitchen. So it's hard to be able to trust, right? And so I always say, ask questions, right? Find out who the brands are. And then also too, like go on social media, right? Find out who they are. Like if you see a brand that's selling Delta 8 and they're transparent, they're open, they're telling you where they get a product from, I'll more likely trust that brand over some of the other brands here. And so Costa said, clear Delta 8 is usually bleached to get a natural pink color out. Any advice on this? I cannot have any advice on that because I'm not a scientist. This is above and beyond my expertise. But I'll ask Daniel when he comes on to see if he'll be able to give you proper advice. And if not, I'll find somebody and then I will relay the information to you in the community. A great question. And so I want to talk about my review of trying Delta 8 over the last 6 months. So I highly recommend you guys get a reusable straw. Comes in handy when you're on the road. So for me, right, I've been using Delta 8 since the summer. I have pain, like even right now, I'm having a pinched nerve in my shoulder blade, and some of the nerve damage comes down all the way to my fingertips. So I have about 30% usage of my left hand on a day-to-day basis. And so this is something that's been happening since 2018. Right? I seen a chiropractor back then, and like now I'm seeing a chiropractor finally. I'm getting a little better, getting a little more range of motion, but I'm always in pain for the past 3 weeks or so. I've basically been in bed, working from bed, making sure that everything that I'm doing for my brain is up to par. So like I'm in pain. And so I use CBD, but CBD can only help so much. I like using THC, but I'm in Virginia. I don't have a medical card yet, so I have to find something that's legal. So I've been using Delta 8, and I'm really grateful because one of the reasons why I have Georgetown Hemp, Daniel on here from Georgetown Hemp, is that he's a store. He's a formulator, so I've known him for going on almost a year and a half, 2 years now, right? And I can say that I can go to his store, I can see him make his products, so I'm confident that he's doing things the right way and it's not just somebody online. And so 3 of the products that I've been using, right? So first off, we have a tincture. This one I got from Georgetown Hemp, and it's 3 which those of you who are in the know in the industry, is a very popular brand. So they have a Delta 8 THC, it's 1200 milligrams, and it's a 30 ml bottle. So you get 40 milligrams per ml. I didn't use that much, right? Because I know that right there will put me to sleep. So I use droppers. I was probably taking anywhere from maybe 5 to about 8 milligrams every time I wanted to. So sometimes I take it 3 times a day, morning, in the middle of the day, and in the evening to help me. I've noticed that taking edible, I feel the effects, right? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like this stuff will get you buzzed up. It may not get you like super high, but I find that it gets you buzzed. I love the fact compared to Delta 9, that Delta 8 have me a little more awake. I don't get as sleepy. So those of you who love to, like taking sativa for that feeling of being awake, I recommend Delta 8 more so than Delta 9. And then also wonderful have the caplets. So those of you who love taking capsules, it's a good way for you to microdose. And this one here is 60 milligrams. It's enhanced. It's 30 tablets, so you get 2 milligrams of Delta 8. So you get 2 milligrams of Delta 9 in this one here, right? That's what it says in the lab. So wait, this is wrong here. Delta 8. So you get 2 milligrams of Delta 8 on here. Little capsule right here. I've tried having this under my tongue, and I know from just trying, I get a little tingling feeling. I am not sure why that is, but I love that I can microdose this throughout the day. And so for those of you who want to try something like this, without having to take the tinctures, you can take the Delta 8 capsules. And then for on the go, I love this right here. So vaping, I love that the feeling it gives me helps me like feel awake. I get that feeling of just like a regular Delta 9, but without getting like stolen out of my brain. And so I love it. As you can see, it's clear. It comes in different flavors. This one's Russian Diesel. I've tried some chocolate flavored ones. I love that it helps me like get my Delta without having to feel super stoned. And I've done this where I vape all day long, and I did not get like super high. So if you're like at home, you're in pain, you're feeling nausea, you want to eat more, then I recommend it. Like I said, it's technically legal, but we don't know for long. We know that at some point, the government will take control of things, right? Regulations is coming, but at the end of the day, if you're gonna do it, you want to stock up, get it while it's hot, and yeah, make sure you get your medicine, right? But it's always a way for you to be able to get your relief. Like I said, vaping, this is for quick relief. You have a tincture for that intermediate relief. It's good for you. It goes bypass your stomach, goes through the bloodstream, and then for the capsules right here, you can take whenever you want to. And I recommend it for microdosing. And so, yeah, that's my review. I love it. There's always options. So before we get going, I'm gonna do an intermission, and then I'm gonna bring back on Daniel so we can just talk and chat. So be back in a few minutes.
Escúchame, baby, dice así. Hoy te voy a encontrar bailando. Hoy te voy a encontrar bailando. Hoy te voy a encontrar. Vamos, nena, ya
Man, can you hear me, buddy? I can't hear you. Turn your mic on.
Together with your help, I can zoom. Here we go.
Nice, man.
How's it going?
Good, good, good. So everybody can see you on camera.
Hello, everyone.
All right. So, hey everyone, this is Daniel Simmonds from Georgetown Hemp. I'm really grateful to have him here on this wonderful live with me. I know Daniel for, like I said, almost a year and a half, 2 years. He's been supporting me. I'm really grateful for all the science information that I get from him, and I love, just connecting with people in the industry. So, Daniel, thank you for being here. Can you please tell everybody a little bit more about you?
Sure. Thanks, Bevon. Yeah. Like you mentioned, we've been kind of navigating this industry for a couple of years together with similar missions, right?
Yep.
So I started a business back in around 2017, not to make CBD and necessarily sell CBD or hemp products, but because there were already so many on the market and even more on their way. And like you mentioned, they're making it at home. It's under-regulated. The consumer, I felt, was going to need someone to turn to that would act as a trusted advisor, who they could ask these questions if they don't have a personal great CBD reviews or Bevon or any of these people that they can go to for these questions, and stores that can recommend verified products. So that's what you see behind me, I think, in the background, our seal of approval. We started out as a distributor so that specialty stores and businesses that wanted to get into the industry could buy from someone who could communicate the information to them on a bit of a higher level, make sure that they were getting safe, verified products. So we've done a whole lot more, but we could talk about that another time. We have
Nice.
more.
Yeah, man. So I'm really grateful for you. Just wanted to just chat about Delta 8. A lot of people are always asking me, especially now that I'm teaching here locally, especially now that I am, I'm rising in the ranks, and just regular folks, my family have asked me more about Delta 8. Everybody hears about Delta 9 and the psychotropic effects of it. But from me just trying the products over the past 6 months or so, I know that it's not as, for me, potent as Delta 9. So can you just explain to people a little bit about, like your background with Delta 8?
Sure. So I live in the state of Maryland, where we have medical cannabis. I'm a card holder. I deal with some chronic issues, GI, stomach issues, and certain chronic pain things. So I could go to the dispensary and get a Medable or get some flour to treat it that way, but I can't necessarily come back to work and function at the capacity that I need to on any given day. It slows me down. It can, at least in certain ways. Delta 8 has been my solution to that. So I started looking when I went down that rabbit hole for ways to mitigate some of the negative effects from cannabis, or not negative, but to control the effects so that I could experience them when I wanted to. And that's when I found Delta 8. So it allows me to treat pain, treat nausea, treat GI issues without the cognitive impairment. You mentioned that it's slightly less psychoactive, which is true. It's got a slightly less of an affinity for our CB1 receptors, why we don't get as much of that psychotropic effect. But I think I explain it to customers as it's like Delta 9 from neck down. You get the pain relief, you get the nausea relief, but it doesn't give you the anxiety and really impair you cognitively.
Yes.
So
Oh,
we
can
started making our own product. Yeah.
a quick question. Do you have the expertise to talk about how it's made?
Sure. So, unlike certain cannabinoids that are concentrated, like THCV or CBD or Delta 9 THC, which are in high enough concentrations in the plant that you can just extract it right? Delta 8 doesn't exist in high enough volumes, percentages yet in cannabis, hemp, marijuana, either side. So it is essentially made by an isomerization, right? So it's a process in a lab where they create a reaction that rearranges the atoms in a molecule to become something else when they finished. And so it's a very precise science to get it from CBD, which is what they're actually starting with, right? So a CBD isolate, and then isomerizing that using acids or hydrocarbon to get to Delta 8.
It's so much that goes on when it comes to the different cannabinoids. And like when I talk about just like, for example, CBD and THC, I tell people if you look at the compound, they look similar, right? And so you just all about just changing one part of it, and then you get another compound. So this is what's happening here. And so yeah, thank you for sharing that. So I know that for me, like just coming to your shop, it's like going to like the Christmas store, right? Like I'm going to the candy store, I see all these goodies here. I know you do a lot of custom formulations. Can you just explain more to people, like the custom formulations you do, and then after that, like, do you mix Delta 8 along with other cannabinoids for individuals? Can you just explain that process?
Sure. So that's a good example. Let's take the 3-chi tincture that you have. And you might say, Daniel, this is working at this dose. I'm noticing about 60% symptom relief, but I'm eating everything in my kitchen because it's making me so hungry. And if dealing with my pain means I'm going to put on all this weight, then I don't want to have anything to do with it, right? So you've given me some clues there that you're getting 60% relief at the dose and the bioavailability that MCT oil offers from that product. So you could bring that in, and we can formulate something with the same amount of Delta 8 as that product, and then add THCV, for example, which is a hunger suppressant. So naturally balancing out and really guiding and making it custom specifically for the customer's needs. So we do that with Delta 8, CBC, CBG, CBN, CBT, cannabis-derived terpenoids, and all kinds of different botanical ingredients that can be used to do all kinds of stuff.
Do you think that custom formulations is going to be where it's at long term?
I don't know. I mean, it's a good question, right? Like the Italian tailor who's like been altering clothes for like generations, right? Mm-hmm. Like they'll always be there, but will they ever be, the Hart Schaffner Marks or that, like the big boys? So I think there'll always be a need for it. I think in cannabis in general and hemp, there's a growing need for it, and more people are recognizing that it's an option. But the truth is, I don't know really anyone else who's doing it how we do it, at least, except for a few compounding pharmacies that aren't specialized in cannabis.
Thank you. So I have a question in the chat. So Costa says clear Delta 8 is usually bleached to get a natural pink color out. Any advice on this, or do you have something above your pay grade to say?
So I saw a comment in one of your social streams yesterday. Is Delta 8 safe? And someone remarked that anyone with less than a certain degree shouldn't be making this stuff. And I would agree with that comment 100%. Yes, there are bleaches used, right? There are acids used even when you don't bring it to clear, right? Just to get it to amber or to that lilac or rose colored, to create that isomer reaction requires acids. But these are chemicals and reagents and solvents that are used in the pharmaceutical industry. You know, our Delta 8, for example, is made at a lab with a board of 4 doctors, and it's a PhD who runs the reactions, right? So with science, you can purge the dangerous ingredients, but you want to make sure you're getting it from someone who knows how to purge them fully and has the equipment to do it, right? So the answer is, for one, I don't know why people need it. Crystal clear, it's a marketing gimmick for the most part. It's not adjusting potency or anything like that. It's just so their products look clear, which ours do, and we don't bleach ours. So, but just as dangerous as a acid that's used to get it to rose or amber is the bleach. So buy it from a trusted source.
Nice,
Is how
nice. Yeah, thank you for that. That's this is why it's like the Wild West. It remind me of this kind of feel deja vu a little bit when you know, like CBD first like really got started a couple years back. Everybody just rushed in doing things, and then CBN, you know, CBG started coming out, so everybody jumped on. And I know at some point we're gonna get CBC and all those other compounds in high volume, and we're gonna going through the same thing, and then the government is gonna be playing catch up for a
Yeah, we
while.
haven't gotten into Delta 10, 11, like, you know, EXO, THC. There's a whole bunch of THCs. So we'll see. I think we'll go fully rec before they can. The truth is, people in the marijuana and cannabis industry are creative and industrious, and we figure things out, and science helps with that. But, you know, they tell us that you can't have Delta 8, there'll be something else.
Yep,
You know, that's what I think.
that's so true. That's so true. So man, yeah. Just want to switch gears real quick. Like, how is business going? Like, for as far as you for this year, is it a little better so far starting off compared to last year, 2020?
Yeah. So absolutely. And, you know, we're so grateful for that. But at the same time, recognize that when stress goes up, you know, around us in our communities, that business picks up for us. So it's a gift and a curse at the same time, but at least we're able to help people, you know. So business has picked up. Our product launch, we're new, you know, like when I introduced that I was started as a distributor, and we've just now, 3 years later, launched our first products. So we're super busy with those. We've got new ones coming out. I think that was one of my display bottles for our Delta 9 tablets, not our Delta 8.
Nice, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I felt kind of like, you know, I was excited
Yeah.
to be trying it, but I'm really grateful. And yeah, like I I think having your own brand stands you apart from everybody else, especially you know once you trust in the community knows that, especially being a store. I've seen where that it's like I said for me, so many people message me saying, "Hey, we selling these products," but then I don't know who you are, right? I'm really glad that I spent the last few years in the industry behind the scenes learning because had I just jumped in right now, I would never know like who to trust, right? And so to be able to be in a place where I can be advocate for just regular businesses and consumers, it's wonderful to be able to have companies like you who are out here been doing it for so long. And like I said, people can just go to your store and you know and talk to you. Or they can come and get custom formulations that they need for them. So yeah, I'm really glad that you know you're here to help people because at the end of the day, it's about helping people, and then everything else just falls into place.
Likewise, yeah. We hit it off from the start. It's like spiritual likes attract, right? We have the same goals and you know standards and convictions. So thank you for everything you do as well.
Yeah, man, thank you. And we got to get you back on here, talk about some of these individual cannabinoids that everybody loves. I know THCV is a wonderful one that we're gonna have to talk about, you know, soon. So I'm really excited, man, and thank you so much. Can you let everybody know how they can find you, over there online or social media?
Sure. So Georgetown Hemp pretty much everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, georgetownhemp.com. You can see all the products that we distribute and also the ones that we make ourselves. And 833, the number 4, Hemp DC. You can
Nice.
reach it
That's,
for anything else.
that's man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Anytime.
Okay. All right, so yeah, thank you, Daniel, so much for just coming on, talking to us about a little bit Delta 8. Like I said, I love the product. It's working wonderful for me. I'm really grateful to have something that's technically legal because I'm not in a full rec state. I know Virginia is getting ready to legalize it. It may end up happening at the end of the year or next year. But for those of you who are not in a legal state, Delta 8 is an option. If you're like, being different, I know some people end up adding distillate to like their flowers and making pre-rolls. So think about, different options that's available for you. And then they ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining me, on this Friday night. I know you could be other places. Those of you who are watching this later, please like this video, share this video. If you have any questions, reach out to me on any of my platforms. And then again, thank you, Daniel, for being here. So like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. And we're going to have some fun going out here. So until next time, have a beautiful day. Thank you.